Hey, District 2 sports fans, it's Gregory here, and I want to tell you about our new sponsorship here. If you're looking to make your business stand out, you've got to check out Chaos Cartel Company. They specialize in custom shirts, hats, tumblers, banners, and so much more. And the best part, there's no minimum order. And their pricing is amazing. I should know because we have a few shirts from them. Whether you're a small business or just looking to get some cool merch, Chaos Cartel Company is here to help. They love working with other businesses to bring your brand to life. If you want to get started, give them a call at 434 489 6123 or shoot them an email at chaoscartel1, and that's the number 1, at gmail.com. Chaos Cartel Company, making your business look good, one custom piece at a time.
You are now listening to the District 2 Sports Podcast, available on all your favorite music apps. Like and subscribe.
All right, so District 2 Sports Podcast. We're back with another episode. We're back with all three guys here. We have Gregory, Devin, and Big Greg. Guys, how you doing?
Filling my face with KFC while driving back from Bristol, Virginia.
I mean,
The Colonel is with me.
Get this guy in a distracted driving course or something. I mean, look, he's eating chicken legs and trying to drive at the same time.
And doing a
Yes, sir.
podcast. Golly.
And doing podcast. I mean, that's talent right there, boys and girls.
Fellas,
Um,
go ahead.
have y'all got a subject we can start out on? Because I do.
What's your subject?
Well, I'd like to start off with college baseball real quick because I understood a very, very ugly incident took place over the weekend down at Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And I think it involved the Florida Gators. I don't know what's up with that coach down there. He's seems to be a privileged guy for some reason, doesn't he?
SEC.
Well, you're not gonna talk about 2 years ago when the SEC had the
Hold
whole
on.
championship
We
to
talking about-
themselves.
Have you ever heard that song? What have you done for me lately? What have you done for me lately? Yeah. Remember that?
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
This is not no time to reminisce. This is time to go over current events.
That's right.
Y'all always trying to start something. Always.
No,
Y'all had-
went ballistic because they wanted to start. They pushed a game back 1 hour. Come on,
1
man.
hour.
Oh, come on. Eric,
Hour.
come on. If your
You would
pitcher's
think-
getting warmed up, getting ready to go, and they say, all right, we're going to push it back an hour, wouldn't you be a little upset, getting your team ready and stuff like that? Now you're going to push it back an hour?
No.
Because
No,
you wouldn't be upset?
uh-uh.
What was the reason they pushed it back?
Because
the other
ECU
game,
had to play last night, had to play too long last night.
they played until after midnight, and they pushed it back 1 hour.
Well, maybe that should have been decided probably the night that game had.
Exactly.
To be honest with
They
you.
should
But
told them not to come, right before game time, like, hey, we're pushing
Well,
it back an hour.
Listen. Let me ask y'all something. I'm just kind of curious, not to be a smartass or nothing, but was either one of y'all at that meeting? Because maybe they did discuss that Saturday night. You know what I'm saying? Maybe
You were
that
there.
did come up.
You
but
were just like
Florida
all
one
of us.
Probably was at the hotel watching.
You were. You were the same place we all were, watching on TV and reacting.
But what I'm saying is they probably did have that discussion somehow
We
on the
can't.
Saturday night.
We can't confirm or deny, so there's no we just have to
Exactly.
go. But it is what it is. Florida had a tough season, a lot of injuries. It was just a very tough year for Sully in general. So I don't blame him. I think he's let off a lot of frustration on that guy, and it just happened to be the whole Coastal Carolina administration and field crew.
All of them.
Carolina had a tough time with Oklahoma.
oh,
Oh, man. God, they lost one game.
They almost lost it all.
they took a
Almost.
day off. That was about it.
Almost lost it all.
I
And then
get
they come
it.
back and win like 12-4.
I get a text message. Was it Friday night, whatever, or Saturday night? Carolina's whooping up on Oklahoma. SEC, and then didn't hear anything from him come Sunday night when they lost to Oklahoma. It got really quiet.
He was drunk.
See, this is the thing. This is what y'all do to me. I'm not a SEC homer. I pull for Florida, and I hope everyone else loses. But y'all make me into an SEC homer.
Hold on a sec.
Hold on.
Let's rewind it. He just said, remember 2 years ago when the entire field was made of SEC teams. I mean,
Hey, and Devin, what did he want to get into immediately? Are you talking about being a homer and starting stuff? What did he immediately want to get into with us on this podcast? $14 million to buy a basketball roster at Carolina. Did he not want to start in on that?
You got any comments on that? Or y'all paid $14 million for I think y'all overpaid for y'all's roster, to be honest.
Yeah. I think a little bit. I think a
If it is,
little bit.
if that number is true. So apparently Carolina spent $14 million on the transfer portal or keeping players. There's been rumors that Kentucky spent like 20 million, but I think that's probably more in line with what Carolina did by like that 14 million range. But I don't know how much Florida spent, but we had to spend a good chunk of change to get Boogie Flan and Xavier Lee. But man, I don't know about Carolina spending 14 million on that.
You know, I'm a little upset that they didn't spend another $5 million and keep K Tyson.
I don't know if to come back.
What do you?
I mean, I'll tell you the biggest slap in the face is Lubin telling everybody he's coming back or going, and then he winds up at NC State. Come on now.
Didn't someone else look at going there too?
Styles went there a couple years ago.
Dang.
I mean, but I think that's ridiculous. I mean, at least Styles took a year off and went to Georgetown before he went to State.
Yeah. But back to baseball though. I want to go back to because we're in the super regionals. Carolina, I mean, they're looking like a pretty good team. I mean, I know they lost that one game to Oklahoma. It happens. But other than that, they've been pretty solid down the stretch in the regular season, ACC tournament, and then now in the super regionals. Who are they going up? They're going against Arizona, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is this the year? Could this be the year?
I mean, it could be, but did you know you done already got on us about one other thing, Scott Forbes. So
yeah, y'all, I didn't do anything. Y'all are going off on the man. He had just had to take over for a legendary coach and had to get things back in order.
Craig, you know, we said Scott Forbes was the man and that he was going to lead this team to a national championship. We said.
I don't know how many messages I got. Scott Forbes should be fired. He should be fired. He's terrible. He's awful. Blah blah blah. And this guy only has that 45-13 hosting the super regional.
Carolina, they're just. I mean, they could hit, but they're so small. They just like are made of like. They look like a high schooler kid out there. You know, it's like I'm watching some of these teams like LSU and Tennessee, and they got like just jack dudes, and then you look at Carolina, and they're all guys who look like us, and it's ridiculous. But
I was just a little. I mean, this has been a wide. I mean, we talk about the NCAA basketball tournament being wide open, and you know anybody can beat anybody on a given day. I think that was proven in the regionals this past weekend.
Yeah, I mean, you have Murray State winning that regional at Ole Miss. Who else? We had Miami come out of the Southern Miss. Louisville came out of the not Vanderbilt. Where did Louisville come from?
I thought it was Vanderbilt.
It was Vanderbilt? Okay. Yeah, it was Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Arizona, they upset someone too.
I think it's
Oregon, right?
It's a testimony to because it was Eugene. I would assume it's Oregon.
West Virginia, also Duke, Murray State, UTSA.
Yeah.
Oh man, Texas down. Yep.
That coach for UTSA has some good stuff to say. He's like, I won with these players that stayed here and the players that left. That's on them. And I mean, they're 47-13. Like a lot of these teams that made these upsets are actually really good teams. Like there's another one that like I look at them like, oh, they just made it by, but they had some good win-loss records.
We lost
speaking of coaches with something good to say, that guy from Wake Forest had a good thing to say too, didn't he?
Oh yeah, see, y'all didn't talk about that, did y'all? Y'all want to talk about Sully going off on people?
Man,
I can't believe they caught him on camera saying what he said. Of
Yeah, and then he said like he didn't remember even saying it. He's like, I don't know what point I
Uh,
said that, but all
course
right,
you
whatever.
didn't.
we
Man,
lost our top two seeds, right? It was Texas and who
Vanderbilt.
else?
Vanderbilt, yep.
Vanderbilt.
So
And you know what? NCAA, I'm sorry. Maybe I don't think you got it right. I just don't understand how a team can be, let's see, where we go, 3-1. So I don't understand how a team could be 42-12, be ranked number one in the country, according to the polls, and then be the 5 seed. How's that work?
mm.
Yeah, Carolina got snubbed out of a top four seed. I don't know what happened there.
Weren't they
Yeah,
ranked number one in the nation like at the end of the regular season too, or at the end of the ACC
yeah. Well,
tournament?
they in the final poll were ranked
Mm.
number
Losing Big Greg
10.
here.
I really don't.
He's hitting the middle of nowhere, South
Hello,
Carolina right now.
Well, with the
you
16
hitting the
teams
mountain?
left,
Can y'all
who?
hear me? Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. With the 16 teams left, do you have a favorite? I mean, are you looking at Carolina as the favorite? Auburn, Arkansas, LSU.
Mm. I'd put my money on Auburn or LSU right now. I would say that. I think that SEC plays the best best baseball. I hate to say
Wow. Yeah, Big Greg
Also,
looks very happy right now. He's stuck in a smiling position.
hey, can you
Oh,
hear me now? I
oh, we
think
got you.
Carolina's pitching as good as anybody.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
Jake Knapp, I think his name is. Their ace. He's just an absolute beast.
Trying to think of who else. I think LSU's right in the mix. I mean, LSU can hit the ball.
Yeah, that should be a good series with West Virginia. They travel well too.
Um, I saw Miami beat Southern Miss the other night, and I don't know. I just if Miami gets to a point where they can put, I think his last name is Walters, into the game as their closer, he can shut anybody down.
Yeah,
That dude can flat throw. He did give up a home run to get the game close in the ninth inning, but he can flat get it across the plate. I think he upwards of 98 to 99, so he can get it down there.
I think games start Friday and Saturday, or is it Saturday? Just Saturday.
Yeah, it's just to let you know, Carolina starts off the Super Regionals at 12 p.m. against Arizona. They'll be the host team.
I don't know what you're trying to say by that. It's probably something about Florida not making it or something. Who knows?
I had nothing to say bad about them. I mean, they just didn't get the job done. I mean, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's hard to
I mean,
overcome injuries. Injuries and just a lot of stuff going on in the program.
it's like I say, it's always you always got next year.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
And
Uh,
and listen, while we talking about baseball, softball, um, hats off to the Tunstall women's softball team. Finished 20, if I'm not mistaken, 20-5. Lost a heartbreaker in the region semifinals yesterday to Stanton River, 1-0. A little bit of a controversial ending for Tunstall yesterday. Happened to have some blood kin at the plate with one out, runner on third base, tying run on third base, and squeeze play, suicide squeeze was called, and didn't exactly get the ball down, so got
dang.
caught in the rundown, thrown back out at third base, and kind of ended the game. Well, it made it 2 outs. Bloodkin gets a single up the middle, and then final out was made on a pop fly, I believe. So
Dang. So
anyway,
are you thinking they should have just let her hit away?
listen, I hate to second guess coaching, but my feeling about this is if anybody ever said, "Hey, Greg, what's your opinion?" So I'm gonna go ahead and give my opinion. you know, Constantly it's being said when you're the road team, you don't play for the tie, you play for the win.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why you don't see road teams, kind of bunting people over to, from first base or whatever. They play for to score the runs. They're not trying to put a guy and give up an out to get a guy in scoring position. So that's my opinion. I wouldn't have done that. I would have give her a shot, especially with the way Bloodkin is hitting the ball right this second. She's hitting the ball really well, and I would have gave her a shot at it. So maybe there could have been a chance for a pass ball or something like that. But look, that's water over the dam. There's nothing you can change. I just feel like you play. I said this afternoon to Nanny, and I said, if they were playing if they were tied and she wanted to try to get a run in to get the winning run in or get the break the tie, get that run ahead, whatever. If she wanted to try it, then I would agree with that. Maybe, but at the same time, I just have a hard time with that. In that situation, maybe a what do you call it? Not a suicide squeeze. What do you call it? We call it
Safety squeeze.
safety squeeze. Maybe a safety squeeze at that point. Make them make the play at first base and see if they can get the ball back to the plate in time to throw the runner out.
Yeah.
I just can't see suicide squeeze right there.
So I think that leaves Dan River boys as the only team in Pennsylvania County still playing. Devin, your boys going to the state tournament, playing the regional championship against Appomattox tomorrow.
You would have thought. Yeah, I'll say this. I mean, Coach Waller, he's always got those boys ready in the postseason for some. I don't know what it is. I mean, they could struggle all season long, and then Dan River just pull out some big wins when it comes to tournament time. It's like the Tar Heels back in the day used to drop a bad one back in the ACC tournament, and then Roy would have them ready for the NCAA tournament. So,
well, they started off. Looks like their schedule. They started off 2-5, and after that, they went on a little bit of a run there. Only lost one game or lost 2 games after that, but. Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, they did that a couple years ago and won the state championship. So it looks like they might be able to do the same thing again if everything goes well. Our guest tonight, DeMichael Lee of Gretna. So we're talking about this Gretna Team Camp. It's going on Friday and Saturday, so looking forward to that. All right, so District 2 Sports Podcast. We are back, and we're joined with our guest here tonight. We have DeMichael Lee of the Gretna Hawks boys basketball coach. How are you doing tonight?
How are you guys doing?
Good, Coach. Good. We appreciate you. Like I said, we saw this team camp and was like, hey, let's get the guy behind this this camp. But before we get to that part, we do want to talk about some Gretna Hawks basketball.
Oh,
like we
right.
were just talking about offline. Your first year there, I think your first year was 2021, and like we were talking about before, you guys go 0-20 or 0-22, but
0-22.
You guys made 3 straight regionals. Like how'd you turn around that fast?
It's credit to the kids. I definitely remember during practices that my JV group was giving it to us. And I knew in the back of my head, anytime your JV group giving it to you, you got something special. And we just stayed together, and it's just all credit to the kids. All credit to the kids.
And if I'm correct, or maybe I've read this wrong, but you were a JV coach was you there for 7 years as JV coach at Gretna?
No, I was at Altavista for 10 years.
That's what it was.
Yes, sir.
So how'd you do that? How'd you get away with going from Altavista to Gretna?
Well, I always knew growing up, Gretna always had talent. I'm just being honest. They just needed some structure and a coach that really actually care about them. And I think the kids gravitated to me until that point. So they just been doing everything what I asked, just trying to be just good people. Yeah.
I heard you say a certain word there, structure.
Yes.
I had to ask. I mean, you play for the legendary Mike Cardellaro. Did
Sir.
he have a lot of that structure you have there at Gretna? Does that come from your time at Altavista playing for him?
Yeah. Everything about basketball I learned from Coach Cardellaro. And, I was underneath coaching with Troy Harris, which is at Rushburg, and then the new coach, Casey Johnson. So, I've been around some great coaches, and then I just try to put my own expertise on things. And when you mix it all together, you can do some amazing things.
Yes, sir. What I also, just correct me if I'm wrong, didn't you guys win a state championship there at Altavista while you were there too?
Yeah, I won as a player, but that's all credit to Kenny Hunt. He was a phenomenal basketball player, and I still we're good friends today, and we talk. But you had a Kenny Hunt, a A.B. Hubbard, Ryan Cook, Rondell Dews, one of my best friends, Jeremy Booth, which he still plays overseas in France. So it was just a good time to be a part of that as a player. And then years later, Coach Cardellaro asked me to be the middle school coach, and I accepted the job. And from that moment on, we win 3 state championships. But kids that came through that time, you got a Warren Thornhill, which is in the NFL. You got Michi Malbeck, was doing outstanding with his life. He's flying planes.
Oh, wow.
And then and the two twins, I think they're doing well. They live in Florida, so it was just an amazing group of kids. But the talent like that only comes through every so often.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I'll say this, Coach. I played at Dan River. I was in high school from 2011 to 2015. I played for Coach Bruce for a little bit, and then
Okay, Coach Bruce is a good guy.
yeah, I played for Coach Murphy there, and we wound up winning a state championship my junior year, and
Oh wow, that's
fortunately
cool.
missed out on it my senior year. But I just remember those teams y'all had at Altavista. All those guys you mentioned, Malbec, Thornhill, the two twins. I mean, they were like it was always the biggest game on the schedule, and
Yes,
we knew
yes,
that it was going to be a packed gym and
yes,
going to be a lot of talent in the gym.
yeah.
So
And then, like you said, with Dan River, you got Ferret, the Edmonds boys, and it's a kid I can't never remember his name. I think he wore number 12 or 24, and he had like a box cut. I can't never remember his name, but he was an awesome player.
I'm trying to think. I either would have been Rodney Womble or he was 24. I'm trying to think of who else was on that team, but I'll have to do some digging.
That's crazy that you mentioned Rodney Womble. He played for me a couple, 2 3 years on my travel team. So
Oh, gotcha.
yeah. Rodney Womble, he was a dog.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man, I guess we're all just Dogwood fans here because I played at Chatham my years.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, so I was
Good
there
coach.
from I played varsity '08 and '09. So
Okay.
our senior year we did get the best of Altavista twice, but it was some tough games. But
Right.
Altavista took it to us a couple years before that. So
Well, I
you
get it why it's called District to District.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yep. Yep. But yeah, talking about Gretna basketball, I mean, you guys have been so close to that state tournament. I mean, you got just last year, we talked to Coach Watson about this, but I mean, you guys played such a great game there against Nelson County, and then unfortunately it comes down to that last second shot. Like, how
Yeah.
did you handle that after the game with your players and kind of get that fire into them to come back next year and kind of get it there?
Well, I'm guys. That loss that hurt. That hurt a lot. But you gotta go through something like that to come back stronger. And I felt like the guys is it's gonna be on the team this year. They putting the work in. We got a lot of work to do. Just by, me watching us play in spring league and summer league. So it's gonna be a tall task for us, but I really think we can do it as long as we just play together and stay together and be able to take some criticism, not from me, but from the teammates. That I think that's going to be one of my biggest issues this coming up year.
And we know about Rayshawn Logan, obviously. I mean, the kid can do it all, like on the football field and basketball. He was one of our District 2 All-Stars this year too, so we got to give him his flowers. But what are
Right.
some other kids that are, not just besides Logan, are coming back that you will be contributing to this team next year?
We got TJ Tanks coming back. Out of my starting five, I returned two starters. So TJ Tanks at one point he played really well for us, and I felt like he was carrying the team towards the end of the season. I remember Logan, he got hurt against Nelson County when we played him for the district championship. And when we played Radford, Ray, he still did his thing, but
Hmm.
he just won't the same Ray that we're accustomed to seeing. So, you got a TJ Tanks. A guy came off the bench for us, Tavion Johnson. He's going to be 11th grade for us. I got high hopes for him. He got a high motor. Um, Jeremiah Oliver. He's going to be probably one of my point guards. He's long. He can really shoot it. Confidence goes up and down, but that's kids for you.
Yeah.
And then some guys from the JV team. You got a Braden Breed Love. You got a Tyson Miller, and I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a heads up on a kid named Tyson Miller. Um, that's Coach Miller's son, the head football coach, and Tyson. He's gonna be one of the guys I think when some guys graduate, and I'm happy that he's with us versus anyone else. He's very quiet, but he got a lot of potential, and he is an awesome kid. He comes from a great family. And then I would say a person out of a dark horse, um, Jaden Davis, big kid. So I think we might have to play in the post a little bit more this year. And, he showed flashes and, just by being on the football field and bringing his football skills to the basketball court and just being a big body because, losing Ethan Scott, man, I'm gonna miss the hell out of Ethan Scott, Xavier Waller, and Jake Jiggets. Those guys, anytime, things didn't go well, they took it upon themselves to hold your teammate accountable, and that's what I'm searching for. I know the guys got it in them, but you know how kids are. They don't want to step on each other's toes, and they might want to fight each other, but it's just all about love, and you got to be able to listen to the wrong to do right.
Well, Coach, I mean, going back to Gretna's history of basketball, I mean, it's been up and down, but the
Right.
last few couple of years, like with DeMarcus going over to GW,
Yeah.
Gretna kind of leads the county now. They're kind of the top dog in basketball. How does
Oh,
that feel being with that
oh,
target on your back?
oh, man, don't tell me that. But um, let's talk about the Tunstall. My first year, they gave it to me. They beat me 97-18. That's a like the kids say, that's belt to you know what. So from that moment on, I always kept that in the back of my mind, and I mentioned it, seasons after, and they thrive, and we still never beat Tunstall, but we beat them for the first time this past year twice. So hopefully we can keep that momentum going against Tunstall.
Coach, I'm gonna try to get a question in while I'm coming over the mountain here.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
so when you get the scores like that right there, and you say you don't never forget them, I mean, do you at that moment feel like, hey, you probably went a little bit overboard with it, or you might have gone too far with something? I mean, is that the reason why you remember that a little bit?
Um, a little bit, yeah and no. It's just when you obviously they kids, so
Right.
if I felt like you could have took your starters out, but hey, if you're gonna do it, do it. But karma's a what.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Coach, I
I
want to talk
like
about
it.
this.
I like it.
Okay, got some more big Greg?
No, I was just gonna say I like that because I mean I think that's something that you know when the shoe's on the other foot later on down the road. I mean,
Right.
all you gotta do is say, hey, you remember
Yeah,
that
exactly.
time, and you know, you know, what's good for
And
the goose is good for the
and
gander.
I, and
I'm
I
a
and
full
I
believer
def
in that.
I definitely remember, during that game, and it was before halftime, guys. I was talking to my JV assistant, Javon Bennett, and I was like, man, look at the score. It was 60-2, guys.
Oh, oh,
But credit to them kids, they came back and they fought and they ended the game. And another thing what stuck out to me is they was actually trying to get 100, which is like, dang, man. But it's sports. And I also, the clock was running, and I remember telling Ethan to take his time at the free throw line because we don't want them to get 100. Not 100. They already got 97. But I, that was a game to just sit back and just it was just a crazy experience to see.
And Coach, I got to ask you about a game this past season. I don't know if it's twice or just once, but you guys play against Reedsville as well. I
Yeah.
mean, that's a whole different animal. Just like they've won, I think, back-to-back state championships. But
Yes.
playing against Neil and I forgot the big guy,
Uh,
um,
Hairston.
Harrison. What was that experience like for you guys to be able to play against them and kind of get that experience?
But that was like my goal, like even my first year, my goal is always to win a state championship, and I want to be the first team to do it at Gretna. So, with that, we went to a team camp in Guilford, and I didn't never know who Reedsville was. So, I try to be. I just like building relationships. So I went up to their coach, which is Coach Ross, and we just started talking, and he was telling me what type of guys he had, and I'm thinking like, oh. And then I started looking at him on the internet. I see him all the time in football and basketball. So I was telling him like, man, it'd be cool to, you know, play you guys at Reedsville. And he said, let's make it happen. So we made it happen. So the thing that I didn't like about it is, we was I would say like 8-0 at the beginning of this season. And it seemed like the kids and also the parents, they weren't worried about the games in between. Everybody was worried about the Reedsville game. But we had a tough ass schedule, and I'm sorry for using profanity like that, but we
Are you
had
good?
a tough schedule. I remember we played Heritage, we played at Dan River, And I think it's another team we played. We had all away games, and then we had to go to Reedsville that Saturday. My guys was definitely battle tested, but the thing that I always told my guys was, let's just treat Reedsville like John Marshall, because if we go into the state championship, John Marshall gonna be there. So
Yep.
I would say the best team to play would be Reedsville, but it was a cool experience. The whole town of Gretna seemed like it was there. It was a packed house. Before we even got there, it was a long line. So it was cool for my guy. And I think they were shell shocked. But I know one day they're gonna realize, like, wow, we was on the floor with Keandre Harrison or Deontay Neal or J9, because I think Keandre, I wouldn't be surprised he going to the NFL.
Yep.
But
Hey, Coach.
okay, sorry, go ahead.
No. I'm sorry to cut in on you. I just, one thing I want these two boys of mine to understand is, I know Gretna's
Oh. Oh no.
Oh, that's your dad.
Yeah, that's Big
Oh
Greg. That's our
wow.
dad. Yeah,
Oh, cool.
he's struggling with the internet connection there, so we have to ignore him for a minute. But
It's all good.
Coach, talk about this team camp. You guys, I mean, how long has this been going on, and
early.
how did you guys come up with these teams in this team camp next couple of days?
Well, I started it 3 years ago. And I remember, back when I was playing for Coach Cordolero, he used to have something like this. He had games at the high school and at the Y. So, I always kept that in the back of my mind. And, you guys, we all from the Dogwood district. Gretna's never did anything like that. So I wanted to bring some of that type of juice to Gretna just for the community. But, as far as the teams, I just took upon myself to reach out to the coaches. And, I might get stood up, but hell, I kept on trying. And I know I was probably worse than just, hey, you want to come to my team camp? But, ever since then, it's been going well. It's actually pretty cool. So, you got a GW coming in this year. They tough. You got an LCA. You got Nelson County. You got Hardgrave. And then like last year we had Reedsville. We had Orange County. It's just all good teams throughout the state. And I was trying to get some Carolina teams, but they going through a classification thing, I think, this year. So that's a hold up. But it's just a fun time to see what you got going on in the season and something to bid off as you go into this upcoming season.
I don't know if you realize this or not, but I was looking at the teams. You have 20 teams, and 14 of them played in the postseason, and you had 3 teams make it to the state tournament as well. So I
Right.
mean, just a heck
Right.
of a class there of
Yeah.
games.
Appreciate that.
And then how did you schedule these things? I mean, this is going on from 8 a.m. Friday and ends 8 p.m. Friday night, and you do it again
Well,
on Saturday.
I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. It takes a lot of work because you got cancellations, and then kids might say, "Hey, coach, I'm going." No, coach, I'm not going. And
Yep.
then I got to redo the schedule. But it's a lot of people that's helping me behind the scenes, and I appreciate him and another guy so much, because you can't do this by yourself. You can't do it by yourself. You always it's cool to get help, especially if you like doing it, and we all gurus of basketball, and hey, it's like you enjoy doing it.
Coach,
Coach,
go ahead.
is anybody when you're scheduling these things, is anybody ever complaining about like, oh, you're giving me the defending whatever region champs or whatnot, or is everybody usually pretty up to the
Well,
task?
what I try to do, guys, is I try to cater to them because they coming to us. And I
Mhm.
tell my guys that's working the clocks and the score tables, like, make sure you do a good job, because we want to make sure they want to come back. And, obviously that's been happening. We want to keep that. So,
Mhm.
I just try to cater to some guys, and you can't please everybody. That's life. But I try to cater to, some guys want tough competition. Some guys want a soft, friendly schedule because, they might be building, they may have to rebuild their program. But I try to suit fit to everybody. But once again, I can't please everybody.
Coach, what are you looking forward to, like learning about your team in this whole team camp? Like, is it experience and kind of figure out the pieces what you might have going into next year?
Everything what you just said. But the main thing is just the sitting back and observing of how they take criticism, how they react to bad plays, and just, like I said, Xavier Waller, Ethan Scott, and Jay Jiggets, man, those guys set the tone for us. And I can't forget about the team before that that won the region with a Kamari Chatton and a Amari Word and a Melvin Wooden. Like, if it weren't for those guys, the program wouldn't be what it is today. That's in my opinion.
Do you plan on having a full team for this weekend?
I do. I think I might have two or three kids gone out of town, but I think I should have the majority of them. But I'm gonna roll what I got because you never know who's gonna be on the floor together at a particular time.
Hey,
What
hey, I pulled off on the side of the road so I could try to get this question out again.
Right.
Coach,
Yes, sir.
sorry I'm doing this to you. I just I'm trying to get back home from work. So
It's all good.
anyway,
Just be
long story
safe.
short, thank you, sir. But long story short, I mean, I know we got this camp coming up this weekend and stuff like that, but what I was trying to say earlier was, I don't want anybody out there to feel but so sorry for Gretna right now because I mean, you get this team back to prominence.
Right.
But please, and I was wanting to, my main thing is for these two boys of mine to hear me now and to understand that back in the early 80s, Ramsey Yates had these boys in the playoffs, in the state semis about every year. And,
Right.
I think, and I might be wrong about this, but I just think the thorn in their side was R.E. Lee Stanton, if I'm not mistaken. It could have been somebody else.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
So I think that was Kevin Madden and the boys that was giving them a hard time for those 2 years, and I think they knocked them out both years. So, but
And
Ramsey did have
I
those
think
guys.
Kevin Madden is the head coach of Stanton right now,
He's up.
actually.
He's up there now. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And Devin's an old Carolina boy, so he should remember or should know that Kevin Madden was a Tar Heel at one time. So
Oh
just let him
wow.
know.
I didn't know that. Go
Yeah, he
Jayhawk.
played
Go
it.
Jayhawks though.
Yeah. So, but no, I just wanted to let them know, and Devin and Gregory actually played in the PC was it Pennsylvania County Youth Basketball League. So,
Okay.
we've seen some of these guys growing up
Right.
and coming up through the ranks. So, I think the future is very bright for you guys.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, Coach, I wanted to ask you real quick, my last question about kind of like how do you toggle between, I think Logan and Miller obviously both play football. How's that relationship with Coach Miller and the football, kind of sharing these kids throughout the summer, kind of get them ready for
Uh,
basketball and ready for football as well?
you know, just by me, I try to be very observant. So, my time at Altavista, I used to see Coach Cartolera, Mike Shaughness, you know, work together. But you want your kids to just focus on your sport, but it can't be that way. So, the first day I met Coach Miller, I went to his classroom and I told him, like, hey, man, if we're going to share keys, we got to be together. And from that moment on, hey, and Coach Miller, he was actually my JV coach my first year. He might have took it upon a little bit too much because, that was his first year being football coach. But, once he sat down and just focused on football and, he got them guys rolling. But I love that dude a lot, man. And, to be on the same page, it just makes everything easier. And as far as the kids aspect, when they see the football and basketball coach getting along, it's all love. And the main thing is just all for the Gretna Hawks.
And Coach, I want to, I guess, guys, reiterate this team camp. So you guys have games at both Gretna High School and Gretna Middle School,
Yes, sir.
open to the public.
Yes, it's open to the public. I'm gonna try to have it on Facebook tonight, definitely tomorrow. You know, if you don't got nothing going on, and hey, why not come watch some basketball? Look at all these teams that I got. You can get any type of whatever you're looking for from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. You can watch some good quality basketball at Gretna High School and Middle.
Well, Coach, I hope you don't mind. I might have these two guys put to work and go to there to do some media content with all the different teams, and hopefully get
Oh,
you on there too
cool,
as well. If you
cool.
don't
That'll
mind
be
that.
nice. Nah, I don't. Come on by. Come
If
on
you need
by.
them to do concessions or wipe the floor, whatever, make them do it too. Okay.
Oh, well, to be honest, I actually, one of my booster club members is out of town, and we definitely need some help in concession.
Thanks,
I've
Megan.
scrubbed many toilets before, so we good.
Okay, okay.
And
All
Coach,
right.
I'll leave it with this. So, I mean, my favorite experience, I think, throughout just playing high school basketball were the team camps. I remember going to Altavista and playing in the large gym, playing in the Y like you were talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
Played in another gym that I think was at the high school, but had
The
no
the old gym. It was all rubber floor.
rubber floor gym. Just the best times because you never know who you're going to be playing with,
Right, right.
who you're playing against, and then the mistakes you make at 8 a.m. they don't matter when you're playing your next game at 10 o'clock. You got to get ready for the next one.
Oh,
So
that's right. You gotta have a short-term memory.
absolutely.
Well, Coach, we do appreciate your time. I know we held you up a little bit, but
Oh, it's all good.
we look forward to Friday and Saturday. We'll be there in attendance. We'll hope to
Right.
talk to you in person,
That's
talk to
cool.
some of your players, talk to other
That's
teams too.
cool.
So
That's
we
cool.
appreciate all your time.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys, and just like I said, just give me a call or text on Messenger, and then just let me know so I can get you guys in there, and we're gonna have a good time this weekend.
Yes,
Sound
sir.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you,
Yes, sir.
Coach.
Thank you guys. You guys are
Coach,
the best.
thanks, Coach. Coach DeMichael Lee of
Yes,
Gretna High School. Thank you, Coach.
yes, sir.
All right, that was Coach DeMichael Lee with the Gretna Hawks, who we said it's in his fourth season there, three straight regionals, and he's hosting his team camp on Friday and Saturday. But Devin, yeah, like I said, 14 postseason teams out of 20 there in this team camp. Three of them play in the state tournament too, so a lot of great experience there, a lot of good talent, a lot of good teams, a lot of good coaches. Um, are there some games you're looking forward to Friday or Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, I've been just at the schedule. Unfortunately, I won't. I would love to get there Friday morning because I mean, you got LCA and GW, you got GW and Floyd, you got LCA in Nelson County, LCA and Floyd, GW and Nelson. I mean, so many good games Friday morning. Friday evening is a bunch of looks like teams from out west a little bit. Stanton River, Buffalo Gap. You got Brookville from right up here. Um, but Saturday also is loaded in the afternoon as well. I mean, Gretna and Floyd, Cave Spring and LCA. You got GW and Gretna, um, Cave Spring and Hargrave. It's going to be some good games. I'm excited. This is the time. I mean, we talked about with Coach Lee. It's the time where you don't know who you. I mean, obviously these teams know who they're going to be playing, but like you could play anybody and everybody in these tournaments, and it just makes it so. Or not really tournament, but these camps, and it just makes it so much funner.
Yeah, and I know it's like only June, but like, and they don't start practicing again until, or really get into practice until what, like late October, early November for tryouts and stuff like that. But it is cool to see. Like, I mean, there's a lot of like a lot of talent out there that's gonna be at this place, and hopefully all these teams have their full rosters. And so there's some players. I mean, there's a ton of players in this, but don't get me wrong. So I'm not just singling out these players, but I do want to mention players that we've kind of covered too. Josiah Bryant there at LCA, he's gonna be there. Sean Turner Jr. at Case Spring, Colton Ward at Nelson, who was our Player of the Year. Kobe Morrison, another District 2 guy. Noah Farley, another District 2 guy. Bryce Giles at Nelson. Ryshawn Logan at Gretna. Spencer Fisher at Altavista. Kind of helped them get to a state tournament. Colton Davis at LCA, the kid to watch out for. Um, I think it's Isaac Smith. Is that Isaac Smith at GW? I feel like
Hmm.
I'm gonna yeah, Isaac Smith. Ashton Cornett at K Spring. Owen Stanley there at Liberty. Will Mancine at Hargrave and Kendall Lanier there at Hargrave as well. Just a few players to mention. Like I said, there's a lot more players that are going to be there, but I just definitely want to highlight these kids. So hopefully they're all there and we can get some content with these kids and kind of see them just play some free basketball there the next couple of days. Yeah, but like I said, Friday, great games in the morning. A lot of LCA, GW, Floyd, Nelson. It's gonna be interesting. I feel like I don't know if you can call things an upset because it's summer ball, but it'd be interesting to see how some of these games play out. Like Nelson versus GW, you wouldn't see that really in the regular season. LCA Hargrave, GW Gretna, so that'll be an interesting one too. So just a lot of great games, a lot of great talent. Hopefully everybody can get out there and you guys can do some interviews with some coaches and some players, get some pictures. We'll see Bob there too. Well, I won't be there, but y'all be there. So kind of jealous, but just an overall great team camp. I mean, I don't think you can get much better than these teams and athletes in there.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean it's going to be a lot of fun. Um, honestly, I didn't even know this was like going on until you sent the text a couple of days ago saying, and then when I saw the list, I was shocked that this was going to be a 2-day event from 8 to 8. I mean that
Yeah,
is crazy.
8 a.m., 8 p.m. And like it's not just at one place. This is at Gretna High School and Gretna Middle School. So they're gonna have games going on simultaneously at both places. So you kind of pick and choose where you want to go to. And I don't know how the pricing works out there. If it's you pay one price total for both places, or you pay both places. I don't know. But shout out to Coach Klein there at LCA for tweeting this out. And when I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, this is a pretty good team camp, and seeing them playing it. And they're playing 6 games. I mean, they're playing 3 games each day, I think, maybe even more, but I think it's 6 games total. But so it's fun. And, we talk about playing these team camps when we're younger. We played in high school ball, and you play at 8 a.m., you turn around and play at 10 a.m. and play again at 2 or whatever it might be. So not a lot of time to think about what's going on. You just kind of play and have fun and play some free basketball out there. I mean, it can be a little bit like pick up, maybe run some plays and stuff like that, but just an overall fun time playing with your boys and stuff like that. So it'll be fun to watch these kids and see how they go. And shout out to Josiah Bryant too. I think he recently had a offer to run off Macon too. I think I saw that on his Twitter feed too. So really good program, a lot of great talent. But yeah, look forward to you guys. Hope you guys see a lot of content you guys do over the weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking forward to getting back in the swing of making some videos. I think the last one we did was probably Hampton Sydney against oh gosh, Bryn Athen for the NCAA tournament. I want to say that's right because I can't remember doing another game after that. But
Yeah,
a lot of fun making those videos and being just in the crowd and getting the crowd reactions and everything. So
this would be the time that Big Red can do his radio whatever for this whole thing. I mean, just game after game after game, just call. I mean,
yeah,
you wouldn't get a break. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and um, we see how these guys play during the summer and get to next year. And I think we started need to do some more recruiting videos. I talked to a guy at Lynchburg College or Lynchburg University. What's oh my gosh, what's his name?
Coach.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's escaping me. Hillary Scott.
Hillary Scott. Yeah, I sent him a list of all the players we covered before, all the seniors and whatnot have graduated. He said they're looking forward to the juniors and stuff like that. So we need to get updated on our 2026 kids and get everything
Oh yeah.
moved up. So we'll start doing that too. But yeah, DeMichael Lee, thank you for coming on at Gretna High School, kind of talk about his career and kind of talk about this team camp. We're looking forward to it.